G'day! In today's video I'm opening up and replacing the hinges on my own personal MSI Delta 15. This particular one, the hinge on it on the right hand side has become very slack and the hinge on the left has become very tight. If I don't replace these hinges soon, it's going to do what I see on quite a lot of laptops where it rips off the mounting points over here due to the tension. So right now it's very hard to push back. I've got these replacement AliExpress hinges here, the left and right. Yeah, one's too slack, one's too tight. What I want to do now is open this up, disconnect the battery, and from there, proceed. Oddly, I'm hearing a weird buzz, but I think that may be my LED lights currently blinking. Now, it's going to be the best way. Just fold it up. We will have to take off the bottom. As you see, I've already done this once before when I've done a RAM upgrade. Go. So while we're in there, I'm going to disconnect the battery. Essentially, we're going to be removing the whole top half screen assembly. Now, I'm pretty sure these screws do come out, or should come out. If they don't, there's something not quite right. And I'm pretty sure most of these screws are of the same length. So this is going to open up a little bit easier for me. A, because I've had it open before, and B, because I'm used to pulling apart laptops. For you, it might take a fair bit of battling to get this bottom cover off. And if that's the case, this job may not be one for you. But you should use this video as a rough guide to be able to replace it. And currently, my thoughts on hinges on laptops is rather poor. The hinges themselves, even if they don't fail, the mounting points usually do, or they gain a bit of slack over time. And yeah, not a huge fan of modern day laptop hinges, so to say. There we go, that. Yeah, whether or not these crappy tools they've included will actually work. I do also have replacement screws in case I do lose them along the journey of getting into the laptop. Let's see where we get to. Huh, it actually worked. There we go. It's lifted. I do note these two screws that are still in here, at least for me. They may not be there for you. You may have been able to get them out. Next up, I want to disconnect the battery over here. There we go. That should hopefully stop any major flaws from happening. Now, where do I want to go to? I want to disconnect the video cable. I'm hoping that I can just take off the video cable and disconnect the Wi-Fi antenna. And that will hopefully be able to let me easily take off the top half assembly. I fear that this is not the case looking at that fan that's there. Lift that up. Lift this up. Pull this back. Like so. Okay. Or is the Wi-Fi not actually part of the display? I've got nothing running through the hinges over here on the right hand side. And I'm actually not seeing any Wi-Fi antennas there, so I might just simply be able to get away with undoing that. So from here, I need a very small Phillips head screwdriver to undo the 6 screws that are here. 1, 2, 3. To avoid any confusion on where they need to go, if you have a look on the bottom, there'll be little triangles pointing to which screws. Where the triangles are is where the internal screws need to go. If I do the same over here on the left hand side, same screws, you can switch these up and mix them up, doesn't really matter. Now what I'm hoping to do here is open the screen slightly, and I'm hoping that will lift up the hinges, and then I can lower it back down, and then I can fold them forward, like so. This one folded perfectly fine, this other side did not, which I'm assuming is probably one of my dud hinges. That would be the tight hinge, I assume. Keep folding it forward. I could probably just put those 3 screws back in, but I'm being lazy right now. Hopefully it doesn't cost me anything. There. Hoping I can just shuffle it forward after I fold it up. That's not doing the job. There we go. I'm hoping I can keep rotating it, like so, to remove the bottom, or the main part of the laptop, like so. Put this away for now. Now I just want to lift up this bottom section of the display. It's usually taped straight across here. I'm hoping I can fold these straight down. Yeah, this side is definitely the bad side, that's for sure. It is struggling to move. Hopefully, a little pry tool in there. I have a feeling I may have retaped this at some stage. I'll use some tweezers for now. But we need to get the front bezel off this laptop to be able to replace where these mount, which probably exists something like that, I would assume. There we go, that's lifted. Great. Probably don't have to go too far. That's probably enough for me. If I move this over, you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. Just make sure that these video cables wrap around the same for you afterwards. There we go. Sadly, these hinges have struggled to last about 2 years. That's been about their lifespan. Now if I grab the other one, there's my left, there's my left. Pull this down. There. That's moving much better. And you can see that there's already grease in there. Or at least it feels much better. Now what I want to do is lift this one out. I need to try and get the other one in the same position. So I wonder if I slide this out. And try and slide this one in. Those cables will still live in the similar location. That won't cause me any dramas. Excellent. If I move that up here. There we go. It's basically sitting where it needs to go. So I hadn't really need to apply any. Well, the wire itself is just finding out, it's just natively going back to where it's been resting. So I don't think I really need to do too much with that. So I am using a 000 Phillips head screwdriver, which is an extremely tiny one that I mainly use for iPhone repairs. So these screws are, the head of these screws is extremely tiny. And I want to make sure that they're all torqued down just fine. Any slack in here will cause problems later on. Go. This should just be able to be pushed back down, like so. That's one side replaced. Hopefully it moves a bit better than this one that requires a silly amount of force to try and open. Yep. Yeah, no wonder. That would have definitely ended up breaking this back assembly. I'm struggling to open that. The amount of force I must have needed to use to open this was ridiculous. Where this is just happy spinning. Excellent. Now as a precaution, I might as well replace both of them. I'm already here, I'm already doing it once, I might as well do both sides properly. So I should be able to repeat the same kind of process over here. This should be able to lift up. There we go. And since we don't have to worry about any cables, this side's even easier than the other side. Very similar process. Unscrew. 2 screw. 3 screw. And 4 screw. Just better go right here like so. Go. Happy with that. Push down. They should all click back into original position. They both should be able to both spin relatively freely, or a little bit of tension to them. What was this one? Yeah, that one was feels about the same as this one, so it wasn't too bad. It was the left-hand side tightening up. But yeah, already here. Let's replace new for new, especially with this side being the easiest side of the two. And I feel like looking at that, it's almost the screen itself's getting a slight bend to it over here. That would have been from the amount of tension that it was getting on, or the amount of force that was needed to open it and close it. Now with it back at that stage, we should be able to hopefully sit these back down, fold this back over, and hopefully we can proceed. And it might be easier to slide it in if it had a slight angle. I'm not sure just yet. I'll try and figure out the most optimal way to recommend it. Or if you can have it hanging over a bench, that might work as well. Sorry, I'll get you back out of there. There you go. So right now I've just got it kind of sitting, hanging. As you can see, this side's getting on just fine. This side is proving to be a little bit more trickier. There we go, that just slid in. Now, how I'm doing it right now, I would definitely not recommend for you guys. This is purely just for viewing. If you have it over an edge of a table and just have it hanging, that would probably be the better way to do it. There we go. What's this video cable doing over here? I'll figure that out in a moment. Yeah, that should go along and up and in. So I've put those black screws back in now. From there I should be able to fold it closed. So as I said, I'm holding this very bizarrely just for the camera here, for you guys to be able to see the screws going back in. These screws don't really spin too far. MSI probably could have used a slightly longer screw here. Granted, if it was the hinge on this one that was failing, not the hinge mount. And I'm putting that in the wrong spot because there's no arrow to it. As I mentioned about the arrows earlier. That one's in, and I would say the other one is hidden under here. Right there. Now in theory, if I slide this down, you'll be able to see the other side now. And I'll keep proceeding with my screws. There we go. There we go. Let me get my magnet stuck on the front there. There we go. Now I should be able to shut this. It's using its own weight. I was able to shut that just fine. Now I just want to re-torque loosen and torque up those screws again. Cool. Yep. Great. Now we should just have to reconnect the video cable and just should be able to follow the path that it kind of wants to lead. We need to flip up the little latch that's here again. Slide and insert. What are we doing? Get it around there a little bit. That's the extra length it needs. And that should fold down on top of it. And it should just basically linger along here. That should be able to fold down. We should be able to slide in and reconnect the battery once more up here. Line up the pins all in a nice evenly straight line. And then you should just be able to push it shut. No, should is the nice term there. There we go. That's going on. Now once I put it far enough, I should just be able to push it in with my hand, just like so. Yep, in, excellent. That's done. The speaker's down there. What have we got over here? No, I thought there was a little bit of grime. We're good. Now I'm right to put the bottom cover back on. This will kind of latch over the back due to the lip here. So do start at the back first. You should be able to click it. Should make a click sound, clicky crunch sound like that. There we go. Good, 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 and good. Work your way around the rest of the machine. Screws stuck on the front there for the magnets. And that should be able to screw in like so. Go. And proceed to put in all those Phillips head screws. They should be all of the same length. And if you put the screws right at the back here, then you should be able to see the screw holes to go straight through. If you've put the 3 screws on the hinges in the wrong spot, or one of them in the wrong spot, you should be able to tell because A, it wouldn't have screwed in, but B, it should be covering the screw hole right now. Some of these screws don't really need to go in too far, or they won't go in too far. That is completely normal. As long as you're not cross-threading it, it should still go in relatively smoothly. And when you do power it up afterwards, it will probably take a little bit longer due to that battery being disconnected. So don't be surprised if it takes maybe up to a minute before it will display. That is pretty normal when you disconnect a battery on most modern laptops. You might think you've completely broken it, but usually it should be okay. Otherwise, check your video cable, disconnect the battery, or if it's still got no display, open it up again, disconnect the battery, and just reconnect that video connector over here. But hopefully, like me, you'll have a laptop that will open a hell of a lot more smoother. It certainly feels a lot more even compared to where it was before. Anyway, I hope that helps with your MSI Delta 15. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.